This is a presentation of the National Crime Prevention Project in Croatia called I Have a Choice. The purpose of the project is to strengthen the primary prevention of the peer violence, vandalism, domestic violence, violence against women, risky and social unacceptable behavior of children and youth, drug and other addiction, reduce the risk of human trafficking, and strengthen the vehicle traffic culture among young people. The project also includes strengthening the social inclusion of national minorities with an emphasis on the Roma, as well as other marginalized groups in the community, with an emphasis on the dialogue and respect the cultural similarities and differences through a culture of tolerance, non-violence, and non-discrimination. This project would positively present the role of the police as one of the key community stakeholders that, in cooperation with other subjects and socially, contributes to the security of the community. At the same time, young people would be introduced to the work of the police and could see the good faith of the police profession and accept the police officer as a friend or helper, which would contribute to greater visibility and presence of the police in the local community. Among other goals, the purpose of the project is to break the chain of inheritance of propensity of the crime within young people based on their parents' criminal careers. The target group of the 5th grade primary school children and older, teachers and parents. The estimated duration of the project is 12 months. The project consists of 10 components. First one, officer, friend and helper. The aim is to develop awareness that police work is the general interest of the community and each individual living in it. I don't buy in a child trafficking shop. The aim of this interactive workshop is to encourage the development ability of identify risk factors and risky situations that represent possibly dangerous when it comes to human trafficking and smuggling. Third one, there is no justifications for violence, encouraging young people to create positive attitudes that are in harmony with positive values of the society in which they live, raising awareness of the need to report domestic violence and violence against women, and building a culture of non-violence among young people. Say no to drugs. The goals of this component are reducing the incidency of risky and socially unacceptable behaviors, especially drug abuse and other addictions, reducing drug abuse among young people, and acquiring knowledge about the harmfulness of drug abuse, alcohol, and other risky behaviors. Similar but different, targeted group will be introduced to the way of identifying persons and how to remember individual specifics of each person so that they can remember person easier and faster. Young people will also acquire new knowledge about police work and application of police powers to perpetrators of criminal offenses. Be a man, change the rules. Instructs young people on the importance of building positive relationships with their environment, and especially in the romantic relations, and changing patterns of behavior based on the violence and intolerance. They will learn new knowledge regarding the importance of communication in relationships and culture of tolerance, non-violence and non-discrimination. Respect our signs. The goal is to increase the safety of all road users and prevent endangering their lives, with an emphasis on the protection of children in traffic, especially in the first days of their independent participation in traffic. Art and music workshop called I Have a Choice, with the aim of encouraging young people to express their views on the police, prevention of violence and vandalism, their role in society through art and music expression. Life at the Police Academy, get acquired with the education of police officers and the way of life of students of the Police Academy, admitting to school, working day at the Police Academy and free time, and as part of which they will visit workplaces and other facilities of the Police Academy. Last one, fair of opportunities. The goal is to show the possibility of better use of free time through greater social involvement in sport activities, cultural, artistic and youth associations, using the mechanisms of universal, selective and indicated crime prevention. We defined marginalized groups, young people in deprived settings, young offenders and at-risk families, in order to apply family-oriented prevention methods within significantly the environment in which they live, social prevention and developmental prevention. In the project, we focused on the prevention of criminal circumstances of committing the crime and eliminated them in an early stage when no criminal acts were committed. Main activities of the project are an intensive media campaign that was conducted to inform citizens about the dangers of various criminal activities in the local community, social environments and families with pronounced risk factors that could lead to committing of a crime or the recruitment of the children into criminal circles were identified and preventive activities were directed towards such groups. A campaign was planned and implemented to inform potential victims about the elements of protection against property crimes by setting up padlocks, video surveillance, and storing valuables. Encouraging citizens to mark their own property with marks known only to them. Through communication with citizens, we collect information about people prone to crime who generate a larger amount of wealth and have no legal source of income. In the case of young people leaving correctional institutions, young people are approached and attempts are made to involve them into various productive activities of public interest. Police began with the project after analyzing the community problem that was conducted during 2012. Thorough analysis began after frequent complaints about specific deviant behavior of young people, criminal acts of their parents, parental negligence of children and young people, and the problems for police to deal with the children and young people due to their legal irresponsibility. With the purpose of collecting detailed information, police patrols were intensified in the area recorded as problematic. Citizens' complaints were recorded and additional interviews were conducted in order to collect detailed data as possible. An anonymous questionnaire was created which served as all citizens in the area that was detected as problematic. Psychologists in the schools were contacted through contact police officers that check for the forms and record the problematic youth behavior and possible causation. The Social Welfare Center was contacted for further complete the profile with a focus on family history. The primary objectives of the project are reduce the number of complaints and calls to the police, reduce the damage caused by criminal acts, increase the number of children who will successfully complete primary school, reduce the number of interventions of the Center of Social Welfare, increase the number of children of the Roma national minority who will be actively involved in post-school activities, increase the number of non-intervention meetings of contact police with citizens. Secondary objectives: to develop a sense of acceptance of the police as a friend or helper and as a service to citizens, encourage young people to create positive attitudes that are consistent with the positive values of the society in which they live, encourage and develop the ability to identify risky situations and possible dangers when it comes to human trafficking and smuggling, and to develop self-protection mechanism among targeted group. Sensiting young people to the problem of domestic violence and encouraging everyone, especially victims, to report domestic violence, indicate the dangers in traffic and need to strengthen traffic culture and traffic safety, especially in relation to pedestrians and cyclists who are particularly vulnerable, develop knowledge about the existence of social entities that work together in an organized manner to create a positive environment in the development of children and youth, acquisition of knowledge on the harmfulness of drug use, alcohol and various forms of risky behavior, on police work and the use of police powers against perpetrators of these crimes, accepting crime prevention as a way of dealing with the problem of drug abuse, vandalism and violent behavior, introducing students to the consequences of the vandalism, destructive behavior and peer violence, as well as domestic violence and violence against women, as well as the actions of the police in such cases, increase community awareness of the vandalism, peer violence and other forms of risky behavior. Outcome and impact evaluation has been conducted by the Association of Psychology Students of the Faculty of Psychology as an independent evaluator. Evaluations are at a scientific level based on evidence. An evaluation was conducted in relation to the participant, target group, students, parents, teachers, and the wider population which the project could have had impact. Results of the evaluations for the first 4 years period are: young people were involved in the extracurricular activities, significantly higher than it was before the project activities. The target group of students had less hours of absence from school. The police was perceived significantly positively than it was before the implementation of the activities. The Center for Social Welfare had less recidivism interventions. The damage of committed crimes was reduced. The number of non-intervention contacts of police with citizens increased for 80%. The number of criminal offenses were slightly increased, which we can explain by better police cooperation with citizens in collecting criminal data. The project brought together a significant number of partners from different areas of interest. Local government units financed activities and provided professional and logistical support where necessary. Social welfare centers provided access to information, guidance, and accessing the need for the targeted group. The Association for the Work with the Roma National Minority provided establishment better communication with the national minority, mediation when necessary, and encouraging community members to participate. The National Agency for Education provided professional counseling and guidance and necessary advice on the most appropriate approach to the problem, considering that targeted group are the children and young people. Primary schools in countries and cities provided a space for activities, time, professional service of psychologists, refreshments and snacks. Police administration and police stations provided personnel. They participated organizationally and logistically in the implementation of the activities, providing transport, premises, refreshments for participants in activities, participants in development of information materials. Some members of the Croatian Parliament have given public support for the project also. Participants were also people from the public life who supported and promoted activities encouraging the participation and involvement of citizens and the target group. A total of 49 partners participated in the first 4 years of the project, and right now we have over 100 partners on a national level. We also activated local crime prevention councils on this matter. The innovativeness of the project can be seen in the achieved level of social inclusion. By implementing the project, we managed to achieve the high level of community involvement in the project activities, uniting the community in order to help a social marginal group in society to achieve a sense of care. Initially, the goal was exclusively to solve the accumulated problems in the community for 1 year period, and now, after 8 years of the project implementation, the community shifted the focus from the community problem to community members. By careful choice of approach, we managed to act on target group without stigmatization. We detected young people at a high risk of their parents' criminal influence. We initiated preventive activities toward young people and concluded that they did not adopt the behavior pattern of their parents. One of the results of the project is a short movie called Marry When You're Ready that shows part of life of Roma minority in Croatia. Movie is a result of research based on evidence, and it is a platform for future crime prevention projects in Croatia and European Union.
Pa mi jako tuko.
Crime prevention project I Have a Choice focuses on young people in a high risk of criminal heritage, especially in deprived local communities. Providing education and opportunity to participate in decision-making process that is in their best interests proved to be the right approach for solving specific problems or family-based organized crime. Project was designed to be a path for a better future.
Zato bi rekla da svi mladi bolje nek slušaju svoje roditelje, nek idu u školu, neka uče, neka se zaposle i onda nek gleda imati svoju obitelj.